Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I wanted to quickly go over some of the new changes coming in the next patch, specifically the mapping system as it's a fairly big update and how it all works, some of the things you can do with it, etc. So with that said, let's just jump right into it and explain it all. So dropping in Hell Terror Zones only, you will find maps and other map content. For now we can basically ignore all these items here on the right side. We'll get into those in just a few minutes. Let's just go ahead and focus on the actual maps. So as the map I have hovered over right now kind of shows, what these will allow you to do is open a red portal to the specified level, and that specified level will have some additional modifiers attached to it. In this case, it has some increased density, better drop rates for uniques, each monster drops one additional item, things like that. You'll also notice that maps have player and enemy stat modifiers. So a pretty basic map here. It's giving us additional attack speed, but giving monsters additional defense. And these stats and the map modifiers will kind of randomize. So here's another same kind of tier and quality of map, but we can see that it has different player and stat modifiers and things like that. Um, in addition, you'll be able to find rare maps, and then in a future patch, we're going to introduce unique versions of the maps as well. But as you can see and surmise, rare maps grant you more fixes, and therefore more possible goodies on your map to adjust things, both for players and enemies. How it would work is essentially, like I said before, you cube it alone, and it will open up a red portal to that level. So right now the map is gray, signifying it's kind of grayed out, just signifies it's basically inactive, that it doesn't really do anything. When I cube it alone, you're going to see that not only does it open up the portal to the kind of loading area, most of the levels will have a loading area by the way, but it also turns the map to its kind of full color, and now signifies that it is indeed active. You can only have one active map on your character at any time, and just like I did in the video, all maps must be opened up in Hell Harrogate only, because that's where all the linking is done. Once you've done that, you can just put the map in your inventory, and just like a charm, all those map effects will now apply. And if I were to hop into the map here just to show you everything, essentially they're cloned levels right now that will expand more in time, but you can travel through here and face the various monsters with their modified tables and all that kind of stuff. Um, as I kind of mentioned, the locations and stuff will change. So here we have a rare map that actually takes us to the Tangled Grotto instead. And once more, if I were to cube that, then it would open up that portal. However, as I mentioned, I can only have one active map on my character at a time, and I currently have one here. So let's assume that I was very fast and I already cleared out that map instead of running away because I have no equipment. Then I can use this map to gain different effects. These effects will be rotation based, along with the Haragic Rift Shop. So for this first introduction, how it's going to work is that you can right click a map to consume it. Again, I recommend doing that obviously after you've already cleared the map. And for again this rotation, you'll have a very small chance at a permanent stat increase. So you can gain either +1 strength or vitality, or both if you get super lucky. And as you can imagine, if you extrapolate that over kind of a long-term growth period, then you can have a very strong or built-out character just from your time playing, just kind of rewarded those stats. But as I said, it will rotate with the Rift Shop. So next rotation, it will no longer be +2 strength or +2 vitality. You might get different stats or gold deposited directly into your stash, things like that. It will kind of rotate around. But anyways, like I said, we can just right click it to use it to consume it, and then hopefully we got some plus to our stats if we were lucky. Now that we've used our active map, we can go ahead and cube our new one, and open up the portal to the Tangled Grotto. Same thing as before, put it in your inventory to gain its effect, and then go ahead and head into the new map and have fun with all that. Now beyond the just maps themselves, there's going to be some different ways to craft things, re-roll, things like that. So as you might have noticed, all the maps kind of said tier 1 on them, and tier 1 maps are the only types of maps that will drop from monsters. If you want anything beyond that, you're going to have to get into crafting a bit. Moving on to kind of this side of the screen here just for a moment, there will be one crafting item that drops from monsters, and it follows the same rules as maps, Hell Terror Zones only, and that's going to be these Surveyor Scribbles here. When you cube 3 of those together, you're going to get a random crafting, map crafting item such as one of these 3 here, a Parchment of Potency, a Quill of Quality, or an Ink of Insanity. Again, that'll be random, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how it works. Just cube 3 of them together, and then in this case we got kind of lucky, we got the Ink of Insanity. And these will allow you to perform just different functions on the map. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you those real quick. So as I mentioned, this is a tier 1 map now. However, if I add a Parchment of Potency to it, that will upgrade the map tier to a tier 2 map. Just keep in mind it will re-roll your stats as well, but we can see here I have a tier 1 map that goes to the Subterranean Cavern. I'm going to go ahead and cube those together, and now I have a tier 2 map that goes to the Subterranean Cavern, but you can see now there's increased density, more drops, etc. So we've kind of increased the overall quality of that map by upgrading its tier. Another thing we can do is we can use the Quill of Quality to turn a magic map into a rare map. So we want to keep our location and all that kind of stuff, but we want to upgrade it into a rare. And so now we have that increased map tier, but with all of our additional modifiers from being a rare map. And then finally, we can use an Ink of Insanity. If we just want to re-roll it completely, we just weren't happy with the map we got, then we can use that, and it'll roll to any tier and any quality. So this is another way you can get tier 3s and stuff like that. But that will explain some of the things you can do with the current crafting system, and again we'll likely expand on this much in the future also, but that will help you kind of target farm and hunt for things as you'd like. And then just final reminder, you can only have one of these maps active at a time, so you can't put it in your shared stash. And if you tried to cube another one, I'm going to go ahead and try to pretend like I'm cheating here and I have one in my personal stash, and then I'm going to spawn a new one with my little cheater recipe. Actually, we'll just use this. So I'm going to create another one, and you can see it opened up the portal, but I got no actual map because I already have one that's in my stash. Again, only one active at a time, and so now I will gain no benefits because I have no map. So technically the level opens, but you're not going to gain any of the additional benefits because you tried to create a second active map. So that's just done as kind of a balancing mechanism. So I just wanted to be clear on exactly how that works. So just make sure you've used your map after you've, done the map. And then again, hopefully you got lucky and you got some strength or vitality increases or something like that from it. And that will be just kind of how that works. So I appreciate you guys sticking around and just kind of bearing with me here on how it all works. I guess one final note to say is that while it's not something you need to know in the future, for now, if you're coming from before this patch, then you will need 3 items in order to use the map effects in order for them to take effect. You're going to need a current weapon, helm, and chest piece from the patch. So what you can do is you can take your current weapon, simply put it in the cube, cube it alone, and it will add the requirements onto the item. You won't actually see anything change, but as long as it, you hear the transmute and stuff and it spits your item back out, then it should have the kind of hidden stuff that's on these items activated for them. If you're coming from the future, and you're just on a new character or something, then none of this will be needed. You can just any weapon, helm, and armor that you find in the game will already have everything it needs for this map system to take effect. Anyways, with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy this new change, especially as it expands over time. And as a friendly reminder, you can always find all this stuff in our cube recipe menu, where we try to go over, how that kind of stuff works. Thanks for sticking around to the end and listening to my yammering. Have a great day. Bye.